Hello everyone, it's Monday again, and I've been playing with some Valentine's things to share with you today. I've been using Tim's Valentine sets. I've got quite a few stamps here that I've been using, some of his earlier releases, and also the new mini Valentine stamps I've got. So I want to show you what I've been doing. My favorite inks to work with are the alcohol inks, and I love to work on tiles. And so this is a tile that I made, and I used 3 colors on this. I used the snow cap, the raspberry, and the wild plum. And then I used the Valentine mini stamps and stamped on there and embossed on there with some dark red, kind of a burgundy. And then I outlined with distress ink. First I outlined it in fired brick and then black soot so I could get a border around it. And I'm going to put a sealer on this, and then it can be used as a coaster. I did this card, and what I did was I used this large stamp here to stamp with embossing ink, and then I used white ultra thick embossing powder, the white UT, not the clear, and because I wanted it to stand up and be thick. And then I went over it with Festive Berries distress ink to try to take some of the starkness off, and I outlined it also in fired brick and then black soot. Same with this. I put this on some glossy paper, stamped and embossed it, and then put a foam tape underneath it to pop it up. The stamps I used for the font, this one is from Paper Smooches and it says Smitten, and this one is by Allie Edwards for Technique Tuesdays, and I put I Heart You on there. They're fun fonts to use and fun stamps to use. And then the last one I did was this one, and I really hated it when I started it because I didn't think it was going to turn out very good, but the more I worked with it, the more I liked it. And I used a lot of different colors on here, and I also took my stamps and embossed it, and I made it so that I could use it this way or this way. And I took an off-white card with some craft as a mat, and you can use it like this for a side opening card, but I liked it really well like this. So this turned out to be my favorite one. So I wanted to work with you today a little bit. I'm going to take some glossy paper, and this paper is from Ranger, and I had there we go, I have the package right here, the Adirondack alcohol ink cardstock. Okay, and I'm going to start out just a little bit differently than usual. First of all, I'm going to dump some blending solution on this cardstock. I'm going to take a brush and kind of brush it around. Kind of work quickly because it will evaporate, but I want to get a nice layer of blending solution on this card. And then I'm going to start just squeezing on some of my inks. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this, a little bit of this, going to use some pinks and oranges, some blues, and again, you want to work fast. Okay, let me get another green in here, kind of a yellow green. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of work this around. Let it slide where it wants to slide. Got some intense color. Okay, and until it stops running because it's starting to dry. And then what I want to do is something that's not really often recommended, but I'm going to do it because there's no propellant, so I don't really see a problem. So I'm going to put some blending solution into my mini mister. And then I'm going to spritz my card with it to get some more movement. And to get things blending again. You can always put some around the edges where you feel you need it. You didn't get any on your corners. Okay, then I want to dry it. Now, it will dry on its own in a few minutes, but I want to make sure it's dry. So I'm going to hit it with my heat gun, which also gives me some more movement. And turn it over. Get it from behind. This really helps to get it from behind because you get that underneath really well. Now this was the part where it was that I didn't think I was going to like it. Then what I did was I spritzed. Also, I'm taking my snow cap and I'm shaking it up. And now I'm going to spritz this blending solution again, and I'm going to drip that snow cap and move it around. This is a little more difficult to get it to move. So again, spritz that blending solution and get that movement. And what I like about the snow cap after spraying the solution on it is how it lightens everything and gives a whole different look. Kind of a surreal look, I think, to it. So I'm going to let that work a little bit. Help it along a little. Spray some more. And you can again take your heat gun and push it. Push things around. And then lock it in. If you have some areas where you're not real happy with it, which I have up in here, I don't really like this, then take something, take a color, and pour some more back on. You know, work out the part where you don't like it. Work with it until you do. You can always flick your blending solution on. for a little bit different dynamic. Push and pull. Till you find something you're happy with. Still not completely convinced about that corner up here. And I'm going to drop a little white into it. And break up that concentration there. Switch some more. And tilt. Seem to have a hole there now, don't I? With alcohol ink, you can work with it until you find something you like. Okay? And I think I want to just flick a little pink. Break up that white area a little. So you can play until you like what you see. I'm still not liking that area right there, so I might have to come up with something for that area. Okay, and then once you've dried it down and locked it in, then you can stamp on it. Let's go with this solid Cupid. And I'm going to put some embossing ink on it. And I'm going to see if I can cover up most of that corner that I don't like. So let's go with it this way. Okay. And I'm going to get out a coffee filter. And I'm going to use the white UT again. There we go. That will cover that area nicely. I'm going to emboss. Okay, and then when that cools off, I'm going to rub a little bit of the Festive Berries on it, or the picked raspberry distress ink, and cut that starkness of that white down a little bit. And let me see, what other stamps do we have over here? I haven't used the To My Valentine stamp yet. Let's try that one. Okay, put some embossing ink on it. Make sure I have it right side up. And I'm going to put that down in this corner. And let's go with the same white. I don't often use this thick Beauty when I'm stamping, but I'm using that for these because I want this thicker dimension. I have so much going on in the background that I believe if I used a finer detail powder, then the stamp would get lost in the background.